Happy World Health Day! And welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Serena. Welcome to another video. So today we are going to be talking about waste management, pollution control and management. And today I'm going to be sharing how we could manage our waste and dispose our waste better and in more healthier ways. And the theme of this World Health Day is your health, your right. So we are going to be discussing things that will protect our health. If you know that you are a new subscriber, welcome. And if you know you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to my videos. Please don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe. And like I mentioned earlier, today is the World Health Day and we're going to be discussing about pollution control and management and also waste management. And we're going to be discussing some certain things, but before we go into that, I'll tell you a bit about World Health Day. So World Health Day is a day where we are conscious about our environment and just to create an awareness about what the environment should be and what should be protected in our environment. And this year, the World Health Day, the World Health Organization has organized this day specifically. That is the 7th day of April 2024, and this every 7th of April as the World Health Day. And this year's theme of the World Health Day is my health, my right. So we're going to be looking at pollution control and waste management. And under pollution control, we're going to be looking at environmental pollution, types of pollutions, the laws that affect the types of pollutions, and also under waste management, we are going to be looking at classification of waste, sources of waste management in Nigeria, hazardous waste management in Nigeria, and the effect of waste management in Nigeria. And I'm going to be giving my recommendations and we'll conclude that video. So let's jump in. Okay, so now let's go into pollution control and management. First of all, let's talk about environmental pollution. And to put it into context, I'll be defining environment and also I'll be defining pollution in line with the environmental laws. So now, environment, according to the National Environmental Standard and Regulation Enforcement Agency Act 2007, this is a Nigerian law, defines the environments as including water, air, land and plants, human beings or animals living therein, and the interpersonal relationship which exists among them or between them. So this is in line with section 37 of the National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency Act 2007. And pollution is defined in line with the Act I mentioned earlier, particularly section 34 of the Nexra Act. Pollution is defined as man-made or man-aided alteration of the chemical, physical or biological qualities of the environment to the extent that it is detrimental to the environment beyond acceptable limits. In 1972, in the United Nations Conference at Stockholm, pollution was defined as follows: the discharge of toxic substances and the release of heat in such a quantity or concentration as to exceed the capacity of the environment and to render them helpless. So that's basically what the term pollution means according to relevant laws. So now let's go into environmental pollution itself. Now, define pollution. We have defined the environment. So now bringing it together, what is environmental pollution? So environmental pollution is defined as the introduction of any harmful substance into the environment which would disturb or cause harm to living things in terms of their health, abundance, and also their viability. So that is what environmental pollution is all about. And this raises a concern to the environment, and as a result, Nigerian law has also provided the necessary laws to protect the environment. But before we go into the necessary laws, what are the types of pollution? Now, let's get into the types of pollution. Pollution is categorized into 4 types of pollution. We have water pollution, land pollution, air pollution, and noise pollution. So there are basically 4 types of pollution. And we know what these categories of pollution can do and how harmful they are to the society. Pollution of water can occur as a result of oil spillage, the discharge of toxic waste into the waterways, and also improper disposition of harmful substances into the waterways. Land pollution can also be caused by oil spillage and also discharge of toxic and harmful chemical waste into the land, which will affect the crops and thereby affecting the production of food. And also improper discharge of waste into the waterways can affect aquatic life as well as the production of food. Now, air pollution can also occur as a result of gas flaring, which is used by several oil companies to save costs rather than disposing gas in the most liquefied manner. Also, air pollution can also be caused by discharge of gaseous harmful substance, toxic waste into the air, either by way of gas flaring or by way of burning toxic and harmful substances. Also, air pollution can be caused by releasing of nuclear weapons into the atmosphere, and this has affected several countries around the globe, clips of which will be inserted. Now let's go into noise pollution. Noise pollution is the most underrated form of pollution because it is practiced in several parts of the world, and in the part of the world where I come from, noise pollution is the order of the day, although some would disagree while some will agree. And because of the town planning nature of my country, we will have residential apartments alongside with commercial apartments. As a result of that, noise pollution is on the rise. There have been several cases that have been settled in court as regards noise pollution. For instance, as a result of the poor town planning system in my country, there are situations of where you will see a residential apartment alongside a commercial apartment, of which is put under construction as to correct the town planning structure of several apartments and residential areas in my country. And as a result of that, noise pollution has been on the rise. However, there have been works put in place to curb noise pollution. Noise pollution can be caused as a result of poor town planning, which involves putting residential areas alongside with commercial areas. However, this can be adjusted. Noise pollution can also be caused by using loud industrial machines that affect the surrounding neighbors. Noise pollution can be caused by using generators which serve as a source of power and also serve as a source of nuisance to the neighbors. Noise pollution can also be caused by putting speakers which are meant to be inside the religious home outside the religious home. Noise pollution can be caused by advertisements done in buses and commercial areas in residential apartments. For instance, driving your bus and making an announcement and an advertisement in a residential area advertising your products, you are actually causing noise pollution, and it serves as nuisance, which is a tortious liability. Noise pollution has been one that is prevalent in several parts of the world, although undermined, and there are several effects of noise pollution. It can cause deafness, it can lead to stress, it can lead to experience of emotional breakdown, nervous shock, and many more. Getting into waste management, the interesting part. How can we manage our waste better? But before we go into the management of the waste, what does the World Health Organization say about waste? So I will read that out shortly. Waste, according to the World Health Organization, is defined as something which the owner no longer wants at a given time and place, which has no current or perceived market value. Now, that is what the World Health Organization defined waste as, and waste has been classified into several types, and waste can be classified as a result of source, harmful effects to humans, and the control which is appropriate to deal with it. So I'm going to be looking at the classification of waste. So waste can be classified into controlled waste and dangerous waste. Controlled waste meaning household waste, dangerous waste meaning toxic chemical waste, basically. So now let's go into the sources of waste management in Nigeria. So the sources of waste management in Nigeria, that is the laws that govern waste management in Nigeria, and I'm going to look at the UK as well. So if you know you're from the UK, stay tuned. So the sources of waste management in Nigeria is the Public Health Act 1917, the Waste Works Act 1915, the Nigerian Local Statutes includes various acts, decrees ranging from the Nexra Act 2007, the Petroleum Act 1969, the Oil in Navigable Waters Act of 1968, and many other acts. And in the UK, the laws that protects sources of waste management in the UK ranges from the Base Convention on the Control of Transboundary Movement of Hazardous Waste and their Disposal, the Vienna Convention for the Protection of the Ozone Layer 1985, the UN Convention on the Laws of the Sea 1982, and several other acts. Then the Environmental Protection Act of 1990 and several other acts. So those are the laws that govern waste management both in Nigeria and UK. So now, how can we effectively dispose our waste? How can we effectively manage our waste way beyond all these laws? First of all, we can start by recycling our waste, that is making use of products we have already used before. Rather than throwing them away as waste, we can recycle them to use them again. So in my country, in Nigeria, there's something we do. We hardly throw away plastics. Most times we use those plastics to fill water again. For instance, if it's a bottled water, we use that bottled water to fill water again, and that bottled water will serve as a preservation to the plastic, and we can also use it for our daily use. Then we get a bowl of ice cream, a bowl of chicken, like let's say we buy KFC chicken and all of that, and we use that same container that was used to store the chicken or the ice cream to preserve our soups, to preserve our stew, rather than having to go and buy a new plastic. So we recycle here in my country, Nigeria, and feeling like this is the most effective and common way of managing waste both in Nigeria and in the UK, and it involves digging a hole to actually put the waste inside. Like where I come from, in my village precisely, most times they dig holes to put dirt, and when they dig the holes to put dirt, they cover it up, although it can lead to erosion and other things, but it's a good way of managing waste. So the waste will just degrade into the ground and serve as a form of fertilizer and the likes. So there are effects of improper waste management, and the effects of improper waste management would affect our overall health. So as much as possible, we must try to dispose our waste appropriately and in good shape to avoid pollution, and also to make sure that our health is taken care of. Our overall health, it is taken care of. So thank you so much for watching today's video. Happy World Health Day once again. I remain Serena. Please don't forget to like this video, share with your friends, and comment down below. Bye.